Hopefully that'll work. Let me shut down this other thing here.
Camera's not straight.
There we go. All right. Hopefully we can hear me now. Mic check, mic check. All right, there we go. All right, so what I was trying to say was, sorry for the mess. I've got the Maker Farm kind of tweaking on it. I got the PSU cover on there finally. I've got the X belt stabilizer slash paralyzer. So I'm trying to fit that in, and then get back to calibrations on it. We've got the Delta still going strong like normal. The ANET giving me all kind of craziness today and yesterday. Is like it just doesn't want to be level anymore, and the prints don't want to stick to the bed anymore. It just like it refuses to play nice. But that's why I want to try to get a little bit better BL Touch mount going for it. I think my ambition to go with the Prusa style hot end was a little too much. Even though I do have the E3D clone, I think I would end up having to print 2 or 3 times to finally get one that looks as good as like what's coming from the factory, because mine, I've got shrinkage, a little bit of warping even on an ultra base, go figure, no matter what settings I end up doing. But I've already got the wiring pre-made done for a modular E3D swap out with the BL Touch wiring all ready to go, so all I got to do is figure out what actual mount to do. I was hoping for more of a direct drive style to go with the E3D so that I can still do flexibles with no issue, because it's the only surviving direct drive printer. Everything else is Bowden completely. So, well, I'll take that back. The Maker Farm is a direct, but it's Wade's, and it's more geared for ABS because it doesn't have a part cooler, which is kind of how weird that they set it up that way. And rather than like completely redesign it just to get a part cooler, it's gonna kind of be more of my 3mm ABS machine. So out of the 4 main ones, needs rods but Bowden. Tronxy, Bowden. Delta, Bowden. So ANET is like the last surviving direct drive, so I don't know. I don't know what to do about that one. It's driving me nuts. It's little things that are just kind of all over the place. But I was also trying to design a double switch. So I already have the LEDs, but I need to get the housing for it. But I was going to make a secondary housing with it so that I can put like a row of black lights. I've already got the actual black light LEDs. I don't know where I set them right offhand, but I've got them somewhere right around here. But yeah, those were a hard find, but I want to put the LED strip on there too, so I can do some glow in the dark and actually like have it glow in the print. So it'll be the the purplish hue on the time lapse, and you'll see it like glowing as it's printing. So I think that'll be pretty cool looking. And then I still have enough because I got the 3 meter. I think it was a 3 meter strand. It might only be a 1 meter. I don't know right off the hand. Oh, there it is. 1 meter. Yeah. So standard 12 volt looks good. I'm thinking of putting like only half a strip for the ANET and then the other half on the Tronxy. I found some pretty cool LED cables, so I can do like a three band. And I've got enough switching that I can do 2 on that one as well. So I may do something like that. Put regular lights on the sides and hit it from the 2 sides, and then have the black light in the front only hitting the front edge of it. That way I've only got the two wires, or the 2 switches, and it'll look hopefully a lot cleaner. But yeah, to get the trunk seat up though, I need a new part cooling, like hot end assembly, because apparently everything that I've been trying to print is just garbage. And I took apart all of my factory hot end, which my version only had the radial fan. So yeah, that part sucked too. Like, it doesn't even blow. So I've got a spare 40mm fan. I need to order some radials, but I don't have those yet, so I'm trying to find something that'll work in between. It's just all kind of little projects everywhere. But yeah, I also, I don't know how well it's going to work and everything, but I did set up a Discord server. So those that were in that chat should be right up there is the part for the Discord chat. So if you guys see that, you know, don't be alarmed. I'm trying to see how that's going to go. Looks like I need to adjust my webcam. It got all messed up with this new layout. Alright, let's see. Face layout. Alright, so I need my webcam. Come on, move. I don't know, it seems like if I don't put a part cooler on stuff, then everything just like goes crazy. So one of the cubes that I tried to do just a calibration on, like the very front edge looked awesome. The other three, absolutely horrible. And I know when I had the part cooling, when I had it all stock, it was great. So I know mine at least needs the cooling for what I'm trying to do. I don't know why, or if I'm just doing something wrong. I've even used your profile, Scott, and it just, I don't know. Alright, let's see if we can lock that. And okay, there it goes. Alright. Bam. There we go. Take that off. Alright. Hopefully the chat's, oh, there it is. Hopefully the chat's bigger, everybody can see what's going on. Like I said, the Discord's up here. New Discord status. Make sure that, you know, if that drops out or whatever, or if the Discord drops out. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for like stopping by, hanging out, subscribing. It's pretty cool. I guess we should probably get some prints going since we got 3 hours. So what we got? Let's see. I think I'm good on a lot of the Maker Farm stuff, all the upgrades. Wow, Scott, 3 weeks. I'm always trying to print at least something every day. Doesn't always happen. Max time I think has been like 3 or 4 days, but yes, I did print that brush holder. Got it right there, and the height I've already checked, looks perfect. I just need to actually install it. But I figure once I get some of the calibrations, if I had to take apart the A-net to put a new hot end on it anyway, then I would take off the bed and install this and then just get everything going. But yeah, I printed in yellow at least to test it, and it came out really nice. Thank you so much. My floating supports to go to like a base layer never come out that great. I don't know if it's going to focus in on it. I need to tweak that part of the profile, but other than that, yeah. Design is awesome. Yeah, remodel. My print for the evening. What you got? What you got? Let's see. Everybody's been printing Destiny stuff here lately. One of my buddies is printing non-stop like Destiny things. Of course, then again, he sounds like he's about to drop off Facebook and everything else. Yeah, just that graphic looks like it's a lot of parts. Are you doing ABS? Got everything on the maker farm that I wanted to do, at least in regular PLA and stuff. Started working on the house yesterday. Yeah, definitely. Make sure you get your back looked at. Don't play around with that. I know my knee's been busted from the army for a little while, but it's still, back is definitely no joke. Clean your nozzle with PLA. The way that I've done it is, well, it depends on like what you're trying to do. If it's just like a clog, what I've done is just heat it up, get it to normal temp, just manually push some through and see like how it's acting. If it's not like flowing out, if it's like curling and stuff, you got a partial clog. So at that point, I would just turn off the heat, let it cool down to about, with PLA, I would say about 150-ish. You can go a little bit cooler, but don't let it go too much cooler than that. But about 150, 155. Push through a little bit more, you'll feel a lot of resistance, and then just yank it as quick up as you can. And that should pull out whatever's there. When you push, if it still flows really easy, then it's still not cool enough. You want some resistance when you try to push it, and then at that point, once you get that little bit of resistance where it's still going through, then do the atomic pull, and you should yank out whatever's in there. Otherwise, I would definitely say get a hold of some cleaning filament. It looks just like PLA. I mean, but this stuff, you can run it like all the way down at 120, 130, and it's not made for printing at all. It's just made for cleaning, and you just push it through like that, and then you do basically a cold pull, and that way it's yanking out all that stuff as it just starts to melt into it, and then you can just yank it out. I've done this a couple of times, mainly just on like color transitions. If I'm going to a white, then I want to make sure it's clean, even though you can do the priming or all the other stuff, but I was doing that just to make sure there was nothing left in the nozzle to accidentally flow out, miscolor anything, and they work fine. No, that's not nylon. It's called cleaning filament. It's made out of some material that you can run like super low temp, and it'll let you yank out all the gunk that's in there. But yeah, you can always just, if it's only like debris kind of a thing, you could always just swap out a nozzle, and then while you have the fresh one on and the gunky one off, you can use like a heat gun or whatever and kind of melt it when it's upside down, heat it from the top, and then just let it kind of drain out. Though, I mean, it depends on what filament, what type of filament you were last using that you think you got a clog from. Kind of all varies the temperatures and what you can do. Joe Telling, the 3D printer, did a cold pull with nylon. I don't plan on probably ever buying nylon, so that wouldn't really help me. I've done a couple with this cleaning filament, but otherwise I just use regular PLA or PETG for that matter. I mean, you could use either kind. You just gotta lower the temp to the point where it's not going to flow very well, and then that's when you can do your cold pull and get all the gunk out. Yeah, I've got a set of needles, though I haven't used them yet once I started doing this cold pull, but the brush, I'm making an automated one with Scott's help so that the startup script actually, for where it sits, let me see if I can, so where it would sit on the bed, the A8 will, you know, park right beside it, and then the start script will lift it, come over, run a couple of times through the brush, then lift up just a hair over, and then you're right beside the bed, and then you can start printing, and it's already cleaned off the last bit of stuff. Otherwise, if you've got, I don't know where they are right now, I've been moving stuff around, but if you've got a dollar store near you, you can also just get the pack of automotive brushes, the steel, brass, and nylon brushes, and I just take the brass one out, which is what I cut that one from, and just give a couple of swipes over the needle, you should be good to go. Or over the nozzle, you should be good to go. Right. Yeah, I think I'm done on those parts. I'm trying to start printing. Never completed a single print. I heard nylon is kind of a beast that you have to almost like print it directly from a dehydrator or a food dehydrator just to make sure that it's not absorbing anything as you're printing, even, or some other kind of almost like vacuum sealed container once you've dried it out, and then have it go through straight PTFE like all the way, that way it's not exposed to any elements. But again, I probably will never go with nylon. Oh, yes, the hammer is done. Now the base, that's what's giving me hell on this Tronxy. That's why I need some help getting a good cooling system going. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people using Weed Eater line. Say it's like, by volume, it's like so cheap and easy to do it that way. Sorry, my phone's like jumping around. There's some other exotic material that I want to try, but at the same time, being around the kids, being right here in my office, in the house, and not in a garage or anything, it's hard for me to justify like some of the crazy new filaments that smell a lot too. What's up? Oh, the kids are in bed? Okay. Hi. You gonna hang out, or do you want to go lay down? You gonna lay down? Hi.
Mia. Mia, come on.
Let's go.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Come lay down.
Go. Go lay down. Yeah, you're alright. Crazy dog. PC Pet G. Yeah. I've got one spool of TPU and I want to get into it, but I just I want to make that next step once I get these things done and like finalized. Kind of getting tired of it always going crazy. But I did finally, I think, figure out the issues with the Maker Farm. It was giving me all kind of craziness with the camera. I mean, not the camera, the Pi. It kept dying all the time. I couldn't figure out like what it was doing. Speaking of which, I don't understand why this thing is like not pulling up. Refresh. There it goes. All right. We'll do the last little bit of me installing real quick. Change that over. There we go. Yeah, I started to finish that MC and then it got scared. You're right. Alright, let's see how well I can adjust this. Alright. So yeah, just trying to line up this belt. Get it going right, because I apparently don't know how to do it very well without like overdoing work. Hopefully the mic's still picking me up pretty decent. So yeah, if you see how like loose the belt is now, I don't know if it shows up, but I can like show you flop it. That's how loose it was when I got it, and its calibration was actually really good, surprisingly. It didn't settle with me well, and I wanted to make sure that I was doing it right, so I just took it off to reset it back to the way that I know how it should be, and then figured I could just go from there. That's the basics, but a lot better. Well, my strain relief is actually, it's a little hard to see, but I got the ID badge little piece that puts a little bit of tension on it. It's already got a zip tie at the base of the bed. That's how they send it factory. So it keeps it up out of the way, but I was looking at possibly doing like, they've got a under the bed chain that I can put on that would kind of be nice to keep stuff out of the way, but at the same time I've had to do the MOSFET that I had to change out because their relay like died on me. Of course, I don't know how much the previous owner, how much he actually printed. He had it for about 2 years, so he probably put it through its paces pretty well. already a lot better. That's a lot better. No more flop. Okay. I just gotta figure out how to do. Live belt. So I could just print one of those other tensioners. Alright, well that'll work. I don't want to have to completely redo this. That's already a lot better. That's still a bit loose, but you know. We'll get a tensioner printed up for that. Alright. Let's see if this thing will. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, if you're here in the chat, go ahead, announce yourself. Try to make this thing fun. Alright, let me see if I can find. That's good. Okay, yeah, that's a great announcement. Thanks. Okay. Connection. Right. Oh yeah, it works again. It's nice to have a old printer that actually works with a really old Pi. All right, so let's do the E-step calibration. Okay, we'll get that going. Oh, because I just did the focus. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the ANET is on. It's at the very bottom on this view. But here, it can make it full screen there for you. So there's the ANET. The Tronxy is offline because I don't have the camera even plugged in. Do I? No, I don't even have it powered on because I got the two 24-volt fans that I got free plugged in, and they are loud when it kicks on. You hear the ambient sound now, so I'll go ahead and turn it on for all you guys. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's loud to me. Yeah, and the E10, I don't have a webcam plugged in there. I guess I can go ahead and plug it in. Even though I still don't have the Y rods for it yet. On the slow boat from China. Where'd I put that? There it is. Let's see if that feed will come in. All right. Let's see. There we go. And then let's check the E10 for Scott. I'm just kidding. But we will check it. But since Scott asked, we'll go ahead and get that camera feed going too. Yeah, I told you, those things are loud. That's why I don't like running it, too often, but what I need to do is get the new cooling assembly mounted, set up, printed, and then it can justify how loud it is. Alright, let's see. Control. Okay. There you go. Alright. I don't have the base or the rods installed yet, so I turn off the transit. Yeah. Yeah. And you hear how much quieter it is. So much better. But the video feed will go out too. So, just so you know. See, there it goes. Webcam offline. Oh wait, there's the... I wonder how long that's actually going to stay on there for the Tronxy before it finally just drops off. Alright, so yeah, see, I've got crazy weird lifting on an Ultra Bass of all things. I don't understand. Get the Maker Farm in shot. Those 5mm Z rods are crazy slow. So irritating sometimes. Ugh. No. Clean nozzle. Alright, I'll take some measurements because it's driving me nuts. That Wade's gear is still just like crazy awesome. Well, the one that's on the Maker Farm is probably a 10-15 year old old Microsoft webcam. It's that round ball that has a little focus ring. Crazy. Yeah, see, it blips out every now and then too. The ANET's got a Pi Cam. The Delta's got the Microsoft HD webcam. The Delta. The Tronxy has a C270, I think, and then the E10 has a C210, and then now I got this new HD 1080p webcam with the integrated mic, so y'all get the benefit of this because I don't have a way of mounting that to any of the other ones that I have. Alright, so 44.8. Current steps. Probably need to put that in first. Put that in that terminal. And 3. What is our steps? 100, 100, 400. Yeah, I knew that was going to need calibration. Okay. So, 100, 100, 400. What is going on? Somebody's like really trying to hit my Facebook up. Where is my Facebook? There it is. God, man. Jeez. Feel for you, buddy. All right. Well, at least that's printing. So we'll get this. Yeah. All right. Free desktop computer to run a few virtual servers for Octoprint or at least webcam. Yeah, if you need some help after you get that computer up, let me know. We can set up like a remote control session, and I can help you walk through the install. I mean, it should be fairly easy according to their website, but sometimes it's a little quirky. But yeah, up to you. So just in case, while that's going on, I'll show you what I'm working on here. Man, just a little bigger. There you go. Lovely sheet that took me a little while to develop, but I love being able to pop it in and it tells you what the new steps should be. So like, I can measure off of this calibration piece and then just get what I need. Alright, so that is yeah, no, I need to actually like do a video on this. Make it so much easier. Alright, so doing it. Okay. Alright, well, I mean, I'll probably pull this maybe out of we need to help put the kids to bed here in a second. And we'll come back and I'll go through, I can do a quick run through the whole sheet. Yeah. Alright. Put the maker file front and center.
I meant to say announce to the teacher. No.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to do it, so sorry.
Well, announce does system wide. It does go into one room.
No, I figured yours was shut off.
No, good when you do announce it does like everyone. That's why I was like, what?
Kids room. Alright, come on.
Are you gonna hang out with me or are you gonna go with Mom? She's fun to, yeah, she's fun to hang out here. All right, 365-inch LCD TV to mount on the wall. A white line. Hey, it'll help with the chat. You'll have your break line. You can have old chat, new chat. All right. So was your PLA? Yeah, it was the PLA that was lifting off of it. I don't understand why. I'm hoping it's just because I need to run some calibrations, but I mean, still, it's irritating. Do you want out or do you want in? What do you want, baby? Okay, we'll figure it out. All right, so we'll go over this handy dandy form that I made. So I primarily did this based off of going through S3D, but you can do it pretty much on any of them. But you get in your terminal window, and very first thing you do this, so that it'll I'll pull the. Where is it? I mean, even the brim that, or the skirt that came off of that, I mean, it is paper thin, and I mean, it held on good the whole time of the print. But yeah, it just, I think it, when I flashed it to 119, all the default setup that I'm about to update, I think that's what really made it. Yeah, I know that maker farm is slow. All right, so yeah, back to the form. So you run this, which basically just tells it you want to extrude 100 millimeters of filament at 100 millimeters per minute. After you get up to, you know, full PLA temp or ABS temp, because you can kind of make two different profiles based off of what you want. I print primarily PLA, so I do this all PLA temps. But essentially, you measure the distance, and you put in what your current steps are for. So like right now, it's 100 steps. So once I measure it and make sure that it ate 100 millimeters of filament, then you measure that and you put in the distance. Say like you measured it out and you got 98 millimeters. Well, based off of that, there's your new E-steps. Then you run it again, and you keep doing it as many times as you feel that you need until it's right where you tell it you want it to be. I personally, even if it's like within a half a millimeter, I'll let it go. But if it's even 1 millimeter off, then I'll put it in here, adjust the steps again, and then do it again. Because I want it to be as accurate as possible. When I say I want 100 millimeters, I get 100 millimeters. I don't want it to be off, because then that throws off everything else later. The next biggest thing, once you get that taken care of, you print a calibration cube, which the one I use, I've got it in the instructions on the back side of this form, but it's essentially, I use a 25 by 25 cube. It doesn't have XYZ, doesn't have any of that, but you wipe out the top, bottom layers, hollow, so it's just a square and that's it. Then you measure each of the 4 sides to get your average rating, and then you put in what the nozzle diameter is supposed to be, and like in S3D, what your current extrusion multiplier is, and what you told it you want it to be. So like in S3D, pull it over just to make sure everybody's following. I do not use auto. I think that it throws all of this off completely. But if you tell it, I was told before when doing all this to match whatever your nozzle diameter is, make it where it says, this is what I want to achieve. If I have a 4.4, I want it to be 0.4 wide. I don't want it to be 0.45 or 0.48. If I say I want a 0.4, I want it 0.4. That way accurately puts all the lines where I need them to be so that it can be more dimensional accuracy is what I'm going for out of it. And then once you have that, that gives you your new extrusion multiplier, right? Your multiplier is the same as in Cura your flow rate. So all the people that are adjusting your flow rates and trying to get it to match up correctly, really and truly, you're doing it wrong, because your flow, same as extrusion multiplier, should match based off of this calibration, so that everything is going the way you, like I said, you tell it you want a 100 millimeter line, it does it 100 millimeters. You have a 0.4 millimeter nozzle and you want it 0.4 wide, then it needs to be 0.4 wide, and that's what your extrusion multiplier is for. You don't want to keep playing with the values, because then you're not going to get dimensional accuracy correct. But yeah, that's basically how you should use that center section. And then the bottom section, I print out, it's a XYZ calibration form, and I have the link on there as well. And basically X and Y are 100 millimeters each, Z is only 50, and then you plug it in here. Again, checking out, make sure you got the correct steps in there, and then it'll spit out what the new ones should be. And again, then you just run that again till you get within your reasonable distance of, it was supposed to be 100 millimeters, how much is it actually? Like this 6 whole millimeters off, that's way unacceptable on any of these. I mean, 6 and 7 millimeters off, I'm not going to have anything that fits. Well, your extrusion multiplier shouldn't, in S3D, should not change based off of your print speed, because it's already dynamically knowing how much of the within S3D, and try not to confuse the terms within Cura as well, which I know makes it hard. Your extrusion multiplier should be based off of accuracy of nozzle to output. Your flow rate within S3D only takes in account that multiplier, or I guess in this, the multiplier, it takes in account that and dynamically assigns a new flow rate based off of that extrusion multiplier to keep you within dimensional, or dimension accuracy based off of your speed now. And then you have your slowdowns, but then you also have your infill and support multipliers that'll go on top of your dimensional accuracy. And so it gets very complicated very quickly, but for the basics, this sheet should get you where you need to go. I've changed enough on this ANET, I got to redo all of it, and I feel bad that, you know, I'm having this whole discussion and I didn't even really calibrate mine. But I noticed it was off when I tried to print some other parts. I was like, what in the world is going on here? I forgot to carry over my previous steps before I upgraded, and I just took the default example steps that were in there, and it threw everything off. So anyway, that's where that's at now. So we'll go with the maker farm for now, at least. So yeah, that was kind of a rundown of the page for the steps and all that. Double check my measurements here, make sure I got all of it. Based off of what I'm seeing, I might need to redo the cube as well. I think I'm off on something, so it doesn't look quite right. Alright, 94.6. so that's all right. So let's go back into S3D. I'd love to print you, but I can't. I need to get this calibration corrected. Yeah, I know it's pretty hard to see on that mirror. I need to get some lighting on that one as well. Alright, drop that down to 10%. Ooh, you know what? I need to turn. There we go. Only 43 minutes. Okay, so we got the white in there. Preheat. There we go. Oop, what happened to the microphone? There we go. No, well, I don't know for sure. That the camera that's on the Maker Farm was the one that used to be the main camera here until like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. But it's on the oldest Pi that I have. It's a Pi 2. I think they just called it like the Pi 2B plus, whatever the Pi 2 was. That's the one that it's running off of. So yeah, it has some issues. I'm surprised, honestly, I'm able to get it to run this decent at this point. Yeah, Scott, I would agree with you. The sheet would be good, like more for the beginner calibration sets. The advanced people would probably have been doing enough that they kind of know what they need to change. Like, you know what to dial in on yours and get fantastic looking prints like that Black Panther, which I'm still jealous of because I want my trunks to be able to do the same thing. That thing is just, it was crazy good. But yeah, this sheet was more designed just for the basic. But here's the thing, I don't know for sure how well it will work with like the Maker Farm with a Wade's gear, because I mean, when I look at it, not only like the steps on it are like crazy high, they're like in the 800s just for the extruder, but it's using a standard 4998 driver. The other ones, the X and Y axis for what I'm changing, those are actually on those newer 8825 drivers, so they're twice as many steps. That part it works okay for like the XYZ because I mean they're pretty decent, but like I don't know if it's gonna throw it off for a Wade's gear for the extruder or if it's still gonna be just as accurate. But then on top of it, I don't know how much 3mm input, even though it's still coming out at 0.4, if that's gonna throw off anything. So primarily, this sheet was designed with stupid camera. Was designed with an ANET or other basic printer in mind. Okay, dog, you're getting freaked out. Go ahead. Yeah, see that first layer goes down pretty decent on the ANET, so that's what's so confusing of why it lifts so bad. Oh yeah. Let me get those up there, Scott. 'Cause, yeah. Come on, refresh. There we go. All right. We'll jump over to there real quick. All right. So, I have to pull it a little funny here. Just get that. All right, come on. There we go. All right, so I know this looks like it's just a CGI picture or whatever. That's the actual print that Scott did. I mean, you can finally see some of the print lines. But yeah, I mean, he printed a crazy huge on the Tronxy that he has, and it just I'm so jealous. It looks so nice. I printed a smaller one, way smaller. Oh, sorry about that, Scott. I printed a lot smaller one, and it didn't look anywhere near as good. But yeah, I mean, I just noticed you printed that flat, like on his back. "13 inches tall." I printed mine standing up. He still came out really good. His foot was kind of jacked up, but you know, that's what you got the rock base for, so you can kind of hide the hole in his heel. But yeah, mine wasn't anywhere near that tall. I mean, it was like maybe 8 inches, if that. But okay, you didn't lay it. Okay, I may try that then and see if I can go just as big, you know, whenever we finally get the Tronxy up and working. Like the base of the stand is the same, like the way it's pictured, that was how it was printed. Because I haven't honestly really looked at the stand part of it. Of course, then again, you know, I'm wondering what might be kind of cool is set both models together and try to max out the volume size of it in the Delta, and just do like a single print with both the rock base and the Panther, like just standing right there, like have it all one big print. That might be something to look at doing. Because I wonder how well that would fit. You know what? Let's yeah. Okay. Well, let's play around with it. Let's see what that looks like. Man, I need to change that Discord. I didn't realize it was that big. Alright, let's get some files in here. Let's do figurines. Let's see. Did you drop it in or no? No. What are you doing? Oh. No. That's not what I asked you to do. There we go. Let's see if that's the right pose. Remember, this thing drops in crazy small. Come on, finish loading. I guess. Oh, that's pose 2. Okay. Do pose 1. Oh, that's hilarious. Do 1000%. I don't even know what way to rotate them. Alright. Base on there. Okay. I love how my I don't know if it's just my model or if this one is the save, because I got it saved like in 2 different locations, but I have to like scale him because he always goes so micro small, but then the other pose is so big it like doesn't even fit. Alright. Control L. Center and range. Yeah, I know. Alright. Alright, so we have to do... this part. Why won't you reset? What the hell? What I do? I think everything that I'm running all at once is being a little demanding on my system today. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So 180 would fit. So 1730. wonder if that is close enough in like the arrangement of the well, probably not too bad right there. Yeah, but once you, I mean, even if the peg's not completely, I mean, that should do pretty decent. I mean, that looks, like if I zoom in even to the foot right there, even the rock looks like it's lining up pretty well with the boot. Even the back heel looks like, even that edge, like it might actually put it all together like it needs to be. I mean, it's just a hair off. But I mean, I could always just 216. Let's see, dude. 5 0. If I make it like that, just a hair into it, that should solidify the two models together. Should solidify them together to get it right. I'm thinking. I don't know what y'all think. I know these fingers are going to be a pain in the ass. No, I didn't try the Amazon basic filament yet. I am going to be running low on filament here soon, so I probably need to put some order in. Not only use myself. Alright, so if I remember right... no, that's not what I wanted. Alright, Black Panther. Got like... I don't know how I do this to myself. Alright, so... Come on, unzip. Alright, there we go. I thought I remember where it said the print settings. I think it was saying that for optimal you needed 6 perimeters and like you could get away with like 25 to 30% infill. We'll try that. We'll do the 6 perimeters and yeah, let's run a poll. Let me see. How do I done that? No, I haven't done this before. Let me see if I can get poll. Here we go. Voting on time to print. Let's say 10 hours. We'll do in like increments. 15 hour. 24. Do what? 36. 48. That's another 60, 72. What's another 12 hour? My brain is not right. 84. Golly, my brain is not working tonight. 84, 96. We'll throw all those in. We'll use the timer. We'll say. Let's start that. See how that goes. There we go. Let's take a poll. All right, so I just did it in hour sets. We'll see how this works. So I'll open it up for like 3. Oh, true. Yeah, it's on the Delta right now. It's set for 70. I might be able to push it up higher, but I think I might need some of those rod vibration dampeners. Which I haven't printed yet because for whatever reason, S3D cannot, like the 2 that I found, S3D cannot print them solid. I have to go into Cura to make it solid. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me why it puts such gaps in the print, but 8 days? God, I hope not. Started with pre-user 1. I think you got to put the exclamation and then vote and then the number. Oh, we only got 4 people? Dang it. Okay, so there's 2 votes. So we got 84 hours and 60 hours. What are you thinking, Scott? Thinking 96 hours? Alright, well, we'll just end that. Because really there's only, what, 4 people watching, 3 did the voting. Okay, is it going to say anything? I don't know how to vote PCs. How much do you consume electricity? To be honest, I'm not even sure. I know my bill hasn't really, my bill goes up more with my AC unit cooling down the house than it does these printers. Or the washer and dryer. So, alright, I don't know how this poll thing was supposed to work. I told it to close and it still hasn't reported back. I don't know what it's doing. Alright, well, either way, let's see what it says. Who's gonna be the winner? Oh, it's probably gonna make my stream skip frames like crazy. Yeah. Alright, almost done. Almost done. Let's see who the winner is going to be. If I had a soundboard, I'd play a drum roll right now. Initializing preview. Come on. Come on. Is it still locked up? Or is it coming through good now? Alright, parsing the G code now. I store my filament basically right there. It's that tub. It's just a standard Sterilite plastic tub that's had a little bit of a rubber gasket on it. I threw a couple packs of desiccant in there, and I just set it in there. My PLA, I mean my PET G. Oh. Dump all that. My PET G, I have in a smaller one right here. I got a big box of desiccant in there, and I just got my 3 spools, my one TPU, my 3 PET G, my black, clear, and white, and then my 1 roll of ABS on my little mini master spool. But then I've got, it's hard to see, but I got one of the dollar store supersized desiccant packs, and then I got like all the little tiny ones all in there. But before I print with any of those, I got a reclaimed food dehydrator that I put in there, up there, and it's up on top of the A-net, and then I just let it sit in there for a couple hours, maybe half a day, depending on kind of how bored I feel, and then I'll go to print with it. But other than that, all right, 30 hours and 57 minutes. That's not bad. Could probably clean up a lot of these support on here so that it's not so bad. Man, this thing is really taking a toll on my system. I'm definitely going to have to do this on another computer. Well, I hope I didn't just lock it up. That would suck. No, I know ABS doesn't need a dry box, but it was a small spool and I didn't want it getting away from me, so I just threw it in there. I mean, the actual ABS for the Maker Farm just sits right underneath it, just sitting out on top, because yeah, I haven't had an issue with it. Plus, I mean, that PLA roll that's up on the counter right there that it's printing with right now, I've just let it sit right there. I haven't even moved it in like over a week and a half. And then it's an open box of PLA, but it's in the PLA or in the box itself. That's the original one that I've had for a long time, and that's never gone into a dry box at all. Yeah, I think I locked up Simplify 3D. Oh, there it goes. Well, it looks like, I mean, it would print a good majority of it within the high 60s to 70s. And then it slows down a lot, right? And the stupid Discord thing is right in the way. But up here by the head, it slowed down to probably, I want to say, about 30s to 20s, somewhere right in there. Yeah, he's got a ton of supports. Jeez. I think I'm gonna have to do variable slicing and like get the rock formation a lot less dense, because that's a crazy amount of filament right there. But it even says it's only 600 grams. That's not too bad. I mean, even with all this, yeah, I'd turn off, I think, this whole structure right here. Yeah, I think I personally, I think I'd turn down the density a lot more than that. 25% still seems a bit too much. I mean, it's doing 6 parameters, so I mean, you'd think that it'd be all right. Yeah, like right in there. Here below, I'd say I'd turn it down quite a bit. 164 layer, no? 1,300 layers. I don't know. How do you? Oh, okay, there we go. Z total, it looks like grand total would be about 244 on the Z. Yeah, I know. I'd definitely take off the supports on almost all the rock base and make it just on him. But even then, I'd probably cut out a lot of these, because even when I did the small version at 6 perimeters, it didn't hit it. Well, Scott, you know what? You help me get this Tronxy where it can print worth a damn, and then I'll I'll do this same thing on the trunk seat, and I'll go huge. I'll go as big as or the what, it'd be almost twice that height. Almost. That's what, 240. So I can do 410 max. I think might be closer to 420. You only had 3 walls. Yeah, I mean that would reduce it down, but at 6 walls, I could probably cut out a good majority of the supports, like especially in the middle section here and up under here, and just worry like right below the fingertips, really, on both hands, and everything else should come out pretty decent. I'm surprised it didn't put any under his chin like the last time. Layer height, let me see. Yeah, no, I just canceled out that huge thing there. So that layer height was at 0.1750 on the Delta. I found that one like seems to be a sweet spot for it. The quality is just pretty awesome. But yeah, six outer shelves, that should come out pretty decent. But yeah, I'd definitely have to split the process, make it where almost like here, right below his foot, like all of that rock to be maybe like 10% infill, and then slowly, you know, get a little bit more just for that transition at the top here, and then go back down a bit. Let's see, we can go like maybe 10, then into 30, and then maybe back down to like maybe 15, and possibly just finish out the bottle at 15. I don't know, I'll have to look at it. But definitely not while on stream, because that's taking a crazy amount of processing power. That's just nuts. But yeah, that was fun. I think I will do that, because that'd be pretty nice to not have to have 2 separate pieces, all one big model all together. And then I know my cousin, he took my other one, so I need one for the shelf back here. I know the boys would like it. But then I need to get an airbrush kit. That way I can paint them, make it look real nice. I mean, because I'd hate to do like the bottom half up to his foot in one filament and then change the rest of it to all be black. I mean, I could, just to cut down on like painting, but at the same time, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just print the whole thing in black for only just that rock, and then just spray, you know, spray paint all the rocks, and then just his accents, and then you should be done. But maybe that's what I'll do, just print the whole thing in black and go from there. Alright, let's check up on this maker farm though. Sounds like it's done. Yep. Alright, calibration is done. No taller because of figure, but yeah. I love that. And a nice like mirror finish on that PEI. Love it. Okay. And this is why. Alright, Alright, so the steps are still off, but they're doing a lot better than they were. Okay, this is X, Y, select Z is. Ooh, Z is a little too much. Okay, that's a new one. Went too far on Z. Alright. Need to do like one printer at a time though. I'm gonna mess up all these calculations here. So 105. Come on. 105.3. 5.3. And what are my steps? Can't even remember now. Come on. Yeah, I know. You already stopped it. Got it. What are the steps? Alright. This current steps 1, 8, 3. Crazy amount of measurements there. Alright. So I need to drop that down to okay. Y. It's amazing. I made the last adjustment on this maker farm with the belts loose, and now I've almost, now with the tensioner on both, it's almost right back to the factory settings, which weren't really that far off. I just figured I'd make sure I calibrated just a little bit better accuracy than what I had it at. But all right, and ready to X 68.6. That looks good. All right, print one final one. Well, the ANET's not lifting near as bad as it did earlier. That's good. It's only that one corner right there. little bit on the corners. You probably can't see my mouse. A little bit on the corners over on the far right side of it. Alright, Scott, or anybody else that's got a Tronxy. So here was Contender 1, the Hurricane. I liked it because it had the 40mm fan on top, but the middle part wouldn't be good for a micro Swiss unless someone can possibly help me find one that can work with a micro Swiss. Then I'll try that one. Otherwise, I've got this one. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I got this one that's already got the 40 on top as well, 40 for the front, and it's already made for a micro Swiss. Sits at a hard angle, but the plate isn't made for a Tronxy, and it like cuts off where I can put the end stop. I had this one made for the micro Swiss, same thing, but it used the small radial fan, and that I already tested it. This thing like doesn't blow for nothing. I tried the Pet Fang, or at least I started to print it out, but I don't have another radial, the full 50-15 radial, and I probably need to just order one, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, Scott, the next thing that I want to reprint is my Bonsai Bullet Bill, because he broke. So this is all I've got left. The whole top piece snapped. I had the eyes and the teeth at some point. I don't know where they went. But I want to print a large one as well. But I want the Tronxy to work so I can print them huge. And then I need some more testing development time, but I was able to make my very own maker coin. Yeah, there we go. Got my logo in it. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see it here. Good. There we go. That's better. Top layer lines didn't come out as good as I wanted it, but then again, it was on the ANEP, and I haven't really calibrated it that great, so I need to redo it. May just reprint it on the Delta, but I don't know. I kind of want like more rounded sides than even this, because it's generally flat and just a little bit of a curve to it. But Tinkercad is not your friend. It is hard. I just tried to throw together that LED switch. I had to like practically redesign the whole thing. I couldn't take what I already had and just duplicate it one over and make the slight little changes. It took me like over 2 hours just to get that far. But then I'm not that good at Fusion yet either, so I mean, I see people doing amazing things in Tinkercad, but my friend just, I mean, my head can't wrap around Tinkercad that well, or Fusion for that matter. You give me your network, or it looks like the Maker Farm finally trying to come back. But yeah, you give me your home network, or corporate network, a PC that's acting a little crazy. Oh, I can do those. Oh crap! I didn't take off the. Clear the bed. Crisis averted. Hopefully. looks like it was averted. It looks like it's printing. Yeah, I still got a little bit of warping on that, ain't it? And it's an ultra brace, so you'd think that it would be okay, but no. Don't let them lie. Yeah, but Scott, you've already designed other stuff and you know what you're doing. I don't. I can fix computers. I can fix networks. I'm trying to learn printers, but you know, it's a whole different language. Oh, come on, ANET, finish already. I think I need to get that add-on that shows like the layer height. So I know, like, I can look at the progress and just see where it's at. That'd be a pretty decent one. Because it says it's at 90%. Needs 6 more minutes. Alright, what is it? Go print. Layer. Layer display. Displays the current layer and the total number of layers for a print job. That might be what one of them. Or is it display? Displays the current processing layer and the percentage in the printer display and at top down. I wonder if that's going to go on the menu. No, I don't have one that says has the Z height. I just looked at the main page and it just shows the progress, which is not always that accurate, but ooh, I like that one. Okay, so I guess I got to do layer display on the older printers and display layer display. Right? I guess I got to do that on the newer ones. I wonder if that will work though. See, that's the only thing I don't like. So this one says you need to upload your G-code after the installation of the plugin because while uploading, the G-code is modified. Yeah, I don't like those. Well, I just throw in print calibrations to get stuff that's more dimensionally accurate because, like, the screw for the Y tension, yeah, that didn't even work because as I did the first calibration on the ANET, it was way off. Like, the X versus Y was off by almost 5 millimeters, so even a part that small of a screw thread, and I mean it came out more oval than circle, and it wouldn't fit anymore. But I originally printed it on the Delta, and I didn't have any issues installing it. So there we go. And that's done. Yeah, I know you could do it that way too, but this also subs cube, so this will also help highlight other issues that may be present, like it lifting off the bed. So now I know it got a lot better than the last time, so I did something right. Oh, hey, Skewed, we may be heading that direction in Christmas time frame, so maybe we can like go out to lunch or something, or because I know the boys want to see your workshop and see some of the cool stuff you've been doing. So maybe we can set up some time if you're in town, of course. Be like right at Christmas. So I mean, if you're out of town, I perfectly understand, and the boys will too. We need to update that refresh rate. We'll do 60 frames a second. Come out any better. Come on. Man, that webcam just sucks. Even at 60 frames a second, yeah, it's skipping pretty bad. Might try cleaning the mount again. Which mount? Well, at least it's only half to 1 millimeter off. Yeah, I probably do. Oh, cleaning the bed again. Yeah. I'll do that here in a second. But what were you saying for like? How did you do it? You said you just told it to move 50 and then measured from it. 'Cause, I mean, the ANET always has the like it homes at -33. Still pretty warm. Okay. Bed. Oh. All right, beds are all clean. So we finally got his going. That's good. Where's mine? I hear Facebook, but I don't see Facebook. Oh, there it is. There's Facebook. Lovely, lovely Facebook. Let's see, what have I missed? Yeah, don't care, don't care. Scott, what the hell picture is that? All right, Skid. Hey, did you got my message up? Oh, was that the bottom of the golly, dude, that rock formation just looks. Oh, okay, I see. That's how you print it out. Yeah, max out the bed. Hey Scott, you mind if I show him the pictures of the base here? Because yeah, that still, man. Can't wait to print that. I mean, look at that. That looks like a real rock. Okay. So that's the bed orientation you did. Nice. Man. I mean, that looks like you can barely see some of the layer lines like down here. maybe like one or two like there, maybe one here, but for the most part, that looks like a real rock. That is just crazy. I mean, look at that. Other than the shine. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, let's see if we can get this magic going. Where is my ANET? Straight off the print. God, that just looks way too good, Scott. Way too good. It's fake, I swear. I know you tell me it's real. I vote it's fake. No, I know you do great work with it. Eventually we'll get my my Troncy to perform as good as yours. Again, I just need a good cooling. Give me that, and we'll be printing. I got it mounted up, it's just waiting, but yeah, those fans are ridiculously loud. Alright, so let's go terminal 1 X0 Y0. Okay, so maybe this memory. So it's not even lined up with the bed correctly. That's outstanding. So minus 33 should actually be minus 31. Put it on the bed. Okay, so we will take Z. Up 1 millimeter, just so I don't scrape anything. And we'll go 10. So 50 is moving like 53. Excuse. Excuse me. Alright. Good luck. That was with the hurricane. Okay, well, so does your hurricane, does that use the E3D? Well, hello, Rover. I heard you all night. Did you just pop in? Yeah, Hurricane E3D. Okay. Yeah, true, because I told it to go 50 and it went 53. So now what would be really nice is if they could just do like on an ultra base to have your grid measurements on it. That way you could just, you don't even have to pull out a caliper. You could just go boop, boop, and just right on the edge of the bed and figure out how much distance everything runs. Man, something's blowing in. Excuse me. Just been quiet. Okay. I see how it is, brother. Thanks. You just don't care about me. See, I only have one. Yeah, but I only have one spare E3D. Oh, man. Hold on a sec. I need to close the window. I'll be right back. Yeah, I just came to blow my nose. Oh. Alright, let's see. So, Tinkercad, yeah, okay. No, I think that's true. Yeah, I could always do that. It's just I did all the wiring and like configuration already for the ANET, but I did make that argument that it was my last direct drive, and I'd hate to like really mess with it. All right, Scott, you talked me into it. Did Bug sneak in? No, she didn't sneak in. Okay. All right. Yes, I know I'm skipping frames. Got it. Where's the hurricane mount? I think I need to re-download it, and then I think I still have that mod bracket piece that we need for the trunk seat. I think I still have that downloaded. Go into my printer folder. Okay, CR10 modular hurricane. There it is. Backplate for trunk CX5S. There it is. Yeah, I think I still got both parts. Well, it's not that I keep it as a spare part. It was, I had it for the ANET, and I haven't gotten around to really deciding what I was going to do, but I gave up on, after the last hurricane piece snapped on me, I decided I just didn't want to do it. Yeah, true. I need to stop fighting it and just order my spare parts that I actually need. Alright, so I guess I'll get this thing printing here on the Delta here in just a minute, but you think I'm pretty sure the back plate should be fine in PLA, but do you think the wrap around the E3D should be in PETG? Or you think that 40mm fan is going to offset it enough anyway that it won't matter, and it can just stay as PLA as well? Yeah, I've already got the main housing done, but like the part here that goes onto the E3D, should that part be the should I do it in PETG, or do you think PLA would still be okay? Because I know the back plate that goes to the frame, that can be PLA. I've already got that like queued up. I think I still have that. I don't know, maybe I already have it still printed out. Already got my back plate printed out. Okay, so it looks like all I need is just the wrap. All parts are in PLA. Okay, then we'll just, that should be the last part that I need then. It'll probably take more than 30 minutes to print it though. Discord. memory. Come on. And now since I did that big Panther build, man, the machine is going crazy slow. That's not that low. I only need to reprint the fan duct on my console and ABS when I get a chance, because that PLA, it's got one of those small radial fans on it as well from factory, and it's just not holding up. I mean, I'd print it in PETG, but I've got the blue ABS, so I figure I might as well just print it that way. It stays with my color scheme that I like and all that. I get a little particular about that. I want to get all these upgrades done. That way I can just, my colors are for jobs, not upgrades. Come on, why didn't you pull in the file already? I didn't ask you to do anything major. There we go. Jeez. Alright. Drop the files. There we go. Alright. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. All I need is that piece. We'll lay that down. Might even get the Delta to finish printing off this part. It's gonna be the wrong color because that's what I got loaded, but at least I can assemble it and see if I can get it running. Then later I can print the other piece. Still got the yellow on there. 9 grams, not bad because only got like 100 left, or 50 or 100 grams left of my awesome orange before I have to buy another roll. I can't get it on discount because that particular roll came from Fry's. That's cool. I don't think I've honestly ever used, what do you say, slick freer? Slicer? I don't know, I've heard it both ways. I downloaded it because I wanted to see like what the Prusa version was going to do, but I do the same thing like within S3D. I know if it's like a taller piece that I'm going to do, which I haven't done many, but if I know it's going to do that, I'll split the process and go ahead and like reduce it down specifically for that area. But that's pretty cool you're doing it with that slicer. Alright, Delta, here we go. I will say that Delta doesn't take very long to warm up. I think I really like that. Just need to get that autofocus to stop. I think it drives me nuts. Alright, so we heard from King what he's working on. We know what Scott's doing. Just hanging out. Since he's taking a break from his remodel. What else are people working on? Very true. I started out with Cura and was getting pretty decent prints. I mean, it wasn't anything that it was getting bad, but I started watching more YouTube stuff, and it was like, oh, well, in order to do this, do it in Simplified 3D. Or everybody that was bigger that I was watching that was doing some pretty awesome stuff, it was like everybody was saying, oh, well, you need Simplify 3D to be able to do it. So, you know, I got a not quite so legit version to test it out. I really liked it, but I couldn't get any updates, and it was an old version. I think it was like version 3, and it had a lot of bugs in it even then, but it performed even straight out that way a lot better than I had with Cura. So I was like, well, I've got enough printers. I ended up having some extra money, so I went ahead and just bought my license. And I mean, personally, I love the flexibility that Simplify 3D gives me personally. I've seen a lot of people still saying that they can do the same things in Cura and other slicers, but I don't know. I personally I like Simplify 3D. It works really well for me. Is it doing a big delay on the chat? Shouldn't be, but hopefully, I mean, I'm not. My upload isn't going crazy again like it was earlier. Yeah, I heard that they're actually going to be coming out with either an update or a slightly modified version of the Prusa edition to include now their SLA printer that they just showed off. I don't know what kind of options it's supposed to have, but he was saying that he like kind of casually mentioned like, oh yeah, you can go from this profile and then without having to like change much, you can swap over to your normal profile. I wonder if my internet's going kind of stupid again like it did earlier. Well, that sucks. I'm only getting 144 down. Jumping between 30 and 160 up, 175, 185, 183 up. And I pay for 1 gig up and down. Getting like a tenth of the speed. That's, I'm gonna call AT&T again. It's ridiculous. One minute, 35-second delay. That sucks. Definitely gonna have to talk to him. Yeah, they actually had a special for this apartment complex to run a fiber connection. So for only like maybe pushing it $15-20 more than what I paid at my last apartment. It's supposed to be 1 gig up and down on the fiber versus my old connection was 50 down, 10 up. And that was on the base. Because I didn't want to pay their astronomical prices for going faster than 50. Of course, that was before I even started streaming anything. Let's see if we can get terminal. Let's do G1 X0. Jeez. With fiber only getting that much? I'm like trying to get you. If I put it on the millimeters. Nice. Okay, so my X steps are off. Alright, let's just plug those in and see what that says. Alright, so... Okay, so let's go back to 2. Okay. We'll do 100 this time. so wow, that's not too much off from what I was printing. So, oh, it's the wrong printer. All right, so let's say 106. 3 steps should be 6. Let's do 0 to 50. So basically the same thing. So about the same on both of them. Okay. 6. I need to do. All right. 2. Three. You know, Scott, I'm starting to like your quick way of doing this. My new lights. What new lights? Oh yeah, my big like, yeah, I didn't pull them out. I forgot. I just got lazy. Scott, you might be onto something, buddy, because that was incredibly fast to try to get calibrated. I think it is almost calibrated. Wow, that looks nice. Okay. Let's do 50. We'll adjust that. Hell, at this rate, Scott, I may not need to do a final print. This thing is like jumping exactly where I'm telling it to jump. And it's landing right on the mark each time. That, my friend, is outstanding. I think we just got it calibrated. All right. Sweet. Those settings actually work really well. Alright, maybe we should, yeah, just do the one. Yeah, the final print just to verify, but yeah. Now that does make sense. I think I will modify, but I mean the instructions are still good and the sheet still works. But you're right. I think I may make a volume 2 of it, of a no filament version, and still include those STLs, you know, for like the later part, for like the final verification test. But yeah, I think I'll incorporate these types of steps. That was, I like it, Scott. That was very nice. Thank you, thank you. That cut down severely. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do the long test. Yeah. I'm gonna do my regular calibration cube. Make sure that my E steps are good. And do the measurement. Make sure like that whole first part that I've put in my thing, that's all correct. It's starting to look a little neat. Alright, 0, 0, 1. No info. Okay. Pause. Why must you be so difficult? Calibration. See, and that's, we'll go over to the desktop. So this is what I normally do, like I said, for that first half, is I'll get it where it's a hollow cube. It's 25 by 25, like I said, but I mean, only 7 minutes and you'll have a full cube that you can measure all the sides. And really, I mean, you don't need to do the full 25 on the vertical, or was it? Yeah, you don't have to do the 25 per se. I mean, you could really just to save filament even stop printing at 10 millimeters. I mean, you could print so 3 minutes and you could verify like your measurements on your extrusion calculator. I may include that in the instructions too, just I mean, like I said, you're only doing like a small measurement to see that. Yeah, definitely do this part. Where is it? 33 mil cube. Yeah, white. Picture's already up. Right, perfect. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that at all for a live stream. From what I hear, we should be able to do like Google Hangouts, and it should be able to flip flop, and then we can tell it to do like this, where it also does a, you know, we're on Google Hangouts, but then it'll capture it on the stream to do the secondary broadcast. I think I have to reach out to Chris or Walter from Chris Riley's Basement, or Walter, or what's that, Country 3D, since they've done that. They do the, was it Fun in the Country Time Basement? Them and Glenn from Fun King 3D. I mean, they do that kind of stuff, so might as well ask the masters, like, how do they do it? Oh yeah, all my streams, I have it saved in my playlist. A couple of people I know they delete right after they're done streaming, but no, all of mine I keep. Because I mean, it is a hangout. We do talk about all kind of cool stuff, so I mean, there'd be no point in like wiping that information off. Because like this, I mean, yeah, it took a long time to get here, but at the very end, we solved some stuff. So my plan is to get this editing software where I want it for regular videos, and then take some of the key highlight stuff that we do in these lives, and then make a video just of the summary points of like, hey, over the course we figured out this, and this, and then just make it a small little, maybe 10-minute package, if that. I'm just not that great at video editing. I'm trying to convince my wife to do it, and just have her help me, teach me the ropes. And she was a photographer, is a photographer, knows how to do all that stuff. I don't. I can buy this stuff, and I can print stuff, I can build stuff, I can tweak your computer, make it do good stuff, which I gotta finish tweaking mine. Yeah, I heard that Walter was taking a break. But that's also why I only do these like once a week. And then my plan was to do like maybe a Tuesday release of a, you know, just a standard video, if I can get the editing software down, so that like, say like we do this, and then Sunday, Monday, I can spend taking clips from this or doing a quick record on stuff, and then that way Tuesday I can pop it out, and then that'll give it a couple days to hear any comments or anything, and then that way on the next hangout we can develop some more stuff. At some point. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I find even when they do like their hangouts, I don't have like when they were doing their Mark III and MMU2, I don't have them. Either one of those pieces. I would love to get one. They're expensive though, but you know, I was just letting it kind of sit in the background, but listening to it and hearing it and going, oh, okay. So whenever I do finally get one, you know, and sometimes the side conversations that they have are also really good info, you know, just in general. So I think my dog is trying to like poke her head in the door. Well, 3 minutes. All right, let that cool properly. So then let's go off our measurement. Getting a little bit of weird Z-banding, but oh, well, if you already have some video software and you got some skills, maybe we should just do a co-stream between me and you, or a Skype stream, which, by the way, I hear that Microsoft is getting rid of Skype. I don't know if it's going to be on the retail side, but at least on the business side, they're like getting rid of Skype completely and going in favor of Microsoft Teams, which personally in the workplace is horrible. I mean, great for the individuals as part of a team, but for a database admin, system admin, I hate Teams. It's like the biggest nightmare to try to get under control. Secure company data. I lose my mind half the time when they do that. I haven't seen any STLs yet. I haven't heard of anything. That would be awesome because it'd be just kind of cool to print out all the pieces and kind of have a semi-functional model, and then I'm sure you could source a lot of the other stuff. Very true, except you won't have the Arduino board that they use. Hopefully they will release that code as well and not do, well, yeah, it kind of works. I mean, I hope they stay with the whole open source piece, but like even their open source, like say for their filament runout detection that's on the Mark III hot end, which is what I was trying to build, that chip is like almost impossible to find, even though it's open source. I think I found one place that sells it, and it's like $20 just for that little tiny chip. I bought some of the Mark 8 gears that are supposed to work in it. Those were expensive, even though it's open source. But I didn't find a place that I could buy the Bondtech little gears that they're selling, or that they're using. It's supposed to be open source, but I can't find anybody that sells those parts. Of course, I haven't put a whole lot, so don't take what I'm saying like completely accurate, but at least for the part-time dad wanting to build stuff, it takes a bit of effort if you really want to search for these parts that are supposed to be open source. I want to recheck the video from Tom, and I was just watching yesterday with what's his name, Shane, Fugatech Printing. He's going to be releasing his after, now that he's done with his official Mark III. He's building a clone off of outsourced parts, and he's going to put his BOM together, and I want to see what he did before I commit to that. But I mean, there's a couple people doing it, but I don't know. Well, what are you going to upgrade your X5 then, or X5S? So you got it from standard stock to the SA, and now you're going to an E2. Is that what I'm understanding? I mean, I would love this Tronxy to be a dual. I mean, when you were showing me your Chimeras before, or the one Cyclops, when you were showing me those even before, I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah, MakerBot, man. I almost bought one of their machines, like way back before I started really getting into 3D printing, like right at the very beginning of it. Ah, man, I just couldn't justify the $2,000. It's based off of the Mark II design. That, yeah, I need to rewatch that and see like what he did. That looks like Castle's the last one print. Says it needs 10 minutes, but I'm already over my normal allowed time of 15 minutes. Try to end it by 11 so I'm not too late, so I can spend time with the missus before we both pass out. Yeah. Definitely comes down to where you can find the parts. I mean, really and truly, I bought a spare J-head that goes in the console. Yeah, this direction. I bought a spare J-head for the console off of eBay through the official Anycubic store, and I guess I timed it just right on the auction. I paid 52 cents for it because nobody else bid on it, and my auction just ended up going through. Took let's see, I'm still waiting on it though. It's taken 2.5 weeks. It's still not here. But the other one that I bought, almost same thing. I bought it for like $2. Got free shipping, same thing. Nobody really bid on it, and then it ended. I've already got that one, and I got I mean, I got the replacement little build tack sheet that they put on it, that it was stock before I put that Ultra Base on there. I got this for like 50 cents in that same order. So I mean, yeah, it really just comes down to timing where you can get it. Ooh, Scott, I think you'll like the Delta. I love that thing. The only thing I wish that could be better with it is if it had a bigger plate, because that size is good for bases, but I mean, it's so much more accurate, and I love the auto level feature with the probe, but I wish they had like a different way that I could have the probe always there, so you can do a quick level point, you know, like G28 right now. G28's home. G29? Oh, I don't even remember now. I gotta get ready for it for if I want to put this BL Touch. But anyway, but to do a level sense right before you print, just to make sure that everything is good. That's the only drawback that I think with the Delta. Other than that, man, that thing it's accurate. It looks nice. Yeah, you do have some connections in China. G29, thank you. Brain, it's 11:15 tonight. Yeah. Well, I said I wasn't gonna wait, but now it's like only 7 more minutes. I mean, I might as well wait it out. let it finish at least, and then we'll go from there. I don't mind so much the 32-bit board, but what I would really just love is a dual extruder on the Tronxy, because I think that would be pretty awesome. Of course, then again, I gotta get this part installed first and just make sure that it works on the factory board before I start worrying about changing it all up all over again. Whenever I get an actual house and I convert like into my own print studio shed out in the back, my plan is to then build a wall-to-wall, like shop size hang printer. That way I can have the center of the whole space just be the print area, and I can just learn that one, since I mean I've got the Cartesians, got 2 different versions, 3 that are all Cartesian, and I got the Tronxy Core XY, and I got this Delta. I think really the last style to really learn is a hang printer. So, but that'll definitely be a new venture, but I've already watched a lot of videos on it. Very, very cheap to set up. Just, you need the room, and in this apartment, yeah, I don't have it. Well, that's cool. Well, if you need any other testers, by all means, put me on the extra list, Scott. I'll help test whatever you want. I'm not a designer per se, but I can definitely find breaks for printers. Hell, my Tronxy's been like in and out of commission for over almost a year now. Jeez. Sad to say, but yeah. Hopefully after this part finishes, just a little more rewiring, hopefully that'll be the last time it'll be out of commission. Alright, 4 more minutes according to this. Well, I figure since the hang printer uses fishing wire to like balance everything, you know, instead of doing the normal just clear, hell, maybe see if you can get like some colored wire. Because I know you won't be able to really like put hanging tags to be like, hey, watch your head on this part, because it's got to wind it up and everything, but you know, or just make a second little shed to the side of the work shed and make that be like, hey, this is my printer. I know it looks like a shed, but really, look, it hangs. It's a printer. This whole shed is just my printer. Either that, or I guess the home position to turn it off would be all the way up. That way you don't walk into it. Yeah, I know the Tronxy's my own fault. All right, 2 minutes. Yeah, but you just that way. That's why you just get a separate little, plastic shed or whatever, and that way you just make that your printer, and then just hang a sign as you walk out, be like printing in progress, and just put the webcam in so you can watch it. You don't have to keep going in. I saw this the other day, and I almost wanted to look into it. Printed Titan. I mean, I've got an extra one of those, and they don't make it look like there's too many real parts that you would need. I mean, really, that screw right there would probably be the only one that I don't have. I think I might have one of those small bearings. Versus this coupler, I wouldn't have. So that'd be interesting. But for the most part, I mean, that looks pretty cool. Been hearing a lot about the Titan extruders. Everybody's ranting and raving how much better they are. I guess first off, I gotta get my actual X5 working. Then I can worry about that, right? Right, Scott? My only thing would be, I wonder if it really just needs to have nylon printed gears to work properly, or if you could do like PETG and have it hold up. I don't know. Come on. You said you only had a minute left to go. And now you're still saying, oh, there it goes. Good turn. getting a little impatient. There we go. I wouldn't have had an issue with the factory extruder if I didn't disassemble and then thinking that I could do a super awesome upgrade, and then in the process of doing said upgrade, got rid of the metal framing that holds everything together to put it back to stock. I have the side attached super crappy blower fan piece, and I have the blower fan. I just don't have the metal housing anymore. Dumb part on me. But yeah. So if I had that, I probably wouldn't have done anything because the printer worked really well. I mean, you helped me get all the way up to 120 before I started taking apart and playing with it, thinking that I knew better. My own fault. So, I mean, I'm not gonna blame anybody else. It was purely my fault. But it's almost there. Alright, so the A-net part is done. We'll do a quick measurement and then we'll wrap things up, I guess. Pull out the really high sensitivity, double digit. Yeah, I figured I was a little under. Alright. So, let's see, where is... So we'll do quick transition. Alright, so back to the form that I did. So, as you see, my current extrusion multiplier is 0.0 or 0.83. I'm running a 0.4 nozzle and I want it 0.4. So I'm running a 0.4. I want it 0.4. So first side measured 0.36. Second side. Hold on, let me make sure that that's right. 3, 2. Check that other side just a minute because that seems a little odd that they'd be. No, maybe not. So current was 0.83. So based off of these measurements and these measurements, it says my new should be 1.07. So back in here, 1.07. We still have it, cut it off at 10 millimeters high anyway. And we just reprint that again. And that only takes like 3 minutes, and then just go back and do it again. So there's the updated one that I just did. So, oh, by the way, this is one of the new things that I've done with the filament manager. It's got a centralized database, so now I can keep track of all my filaments, and then all of them have access to it. So every print job is centrally logged, so that they all have the right amount of filament, so I don't run out before a job because I already know how much it's how much it's doing. Oh, factory extruder. I didn't even read it. Sorry, buddy. Well, the only thing different I did on my factory extruder, which I don't have a problem with, I mean, I moved it to the front corner on that extension piece, and then the one thing that I did like that I kind of printed out from the Prusa thing, just for the angle that I sit at, I printed out the little flag, and it's got the magnets on the back, so it hits right on the drive axle, so it'll, as it jumps back and forth, it kind of moves. Pretty funny. But since I can't really see it that great all the way over there, I can put that on there, and then, yeah. All right, well, that's gonna heat up and print, and I'm gonna do a quick check and all that, and when this other part cools, I'm probably gonna throw some stuff together, see what's going on, or at least do it tomorrow, and then I guess we'll go from there. Scott, I may hit you up individually. Chinese Titan knockout. Oh, well, that'd be something to look at. I need other spare parts before I mess with the Titan, though. Even clone or regular. Cut my finger earlier today. Filament out detection would save you a lot of headache. Yes. And I've already got stuff in the works for that. This was for my Hypercube project. I actually have 3 optical sensors, and I've already found a case that hooks up to the get in. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. Sign me in already. Come on. Let's get it going. Tighten. Nope. Proxy. Yeah, I've saved a bunch of different cooling pieces, mods, different things. Tried testing out a lot of different. There it is. I'm gonna print this in like black, I'm thinking, instead of just white. That way, you know, there's no chance of side light getting into it. But then again, I've got white and they used white, so I may try that just to see, you know, which is more accurate. But this will fit easily, and I mean, it just runs right through. So I've got 3 of the optical sensors, so I can put one on the Tronxy, one on the Delta, and one on the E10, since they're all Bowden, and get some good benefit out of that. If I keep the ANET pretty much stock and only worry about just mounting a BL touch to it just to make it that much faster on leveling, just make sure everything is good. Since I don't have a leveling issue on the Tronxy, that one seems to work just fine if I can get the hot end working. So, but yeah, since it's a direct drive, the filament run out would kind of be pointless at that. So yeah, will do. We'll message you. You're right. Well, thanks for the hangout. Thanks for staying with my rambling and all that jazz. Look forward to hearing from everybody. See you next week. Y'all have fun, and yeah. See a problem with just using a mechanical switch. Very true. The only reason I bought it for a hypercube project, and then that was before I even bought the Tronxy, and it was only because the guy that did it, and it was going to be a Hevo version of the hypercube. He used all optical, and I was like really intrigued by it, and I was like, well, if I got to buy all the parts anyway, I might as well buy that. And I didn't end up doing that hypercube project. I went with the Tronxy anyway, so now they're just extra. I got them on a great deal. It was like that pack of 3, I think, for like $5, like $5 or $10. I don't even remember, but it was like a year ago, and I haven't used them for anything else. So I figured I saw this, I might as well keep doing it. So, but again, thanks for hanging out, and I guess see you next week.